Hey guys, how you doing? It's Raymond here from the Raymond Report with your free MLB baseball previews and predictions today for Thursday. It is May 15th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your Thirsty Thursdays. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner or hit the subscribe button below this video if you're using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by the Raymond Report. Come and get a free 7-day pass. All you got to do is click the link in the description. It'll take you to the page, fill out the form, and we'll hook you up with a 7-day pass courtesy of ATSstats.com. All right, let's get right into your 3 free picks here today for Thursday, May 15th. Now, if you follow the Raymond Report, you know that if you go to the website, it's always based on value, percentage play, player performance cycles, player availability, and we use a strict money management system. And if you go to your dashboard and go to the market index, now the 8 type teams in the Raymond Report, those are teams with a 60 or higher win percentage. And as of today, Thursday, May 15th, we're only down to 4 teams with a 60 or higher win percentage. And that is the Padres, the Mets, the Dodgers, and the Detroit Tigers. Hey, who thought the Tigers would be have one of the best records in baseball? But yep, there they are, 8 type team. Now the B type teams with a 50 to 59.9 win percentage. Those are your Cleveland Guardians, Philadelphia Phillies, New York Yankees, Chicago Cubs, San Francisco Giants, Kansas City, Seattle, St. Louis, Minnesota, Texas, Arizona, Houston, Oakland, or the A's, and Toronto Blue Jays. And the rest of the teams are the teams below 500. Now, if you're looking at this chart and you're seeing why is everything color coordinated, I also look at things through a cycles lens, just like the stock market. You know, which teams that are bearish, which teams that are neutral, and which teams are bullish in a fair market value situation. And right now, the teams in green, those are teams that are very bullish right now. We're talking teams like Detroit, New York Mets. In fact, if you go to your confidence level and in this chart, click on it, and what it'll do, it's going to rank those teams that are bullish, and it'll rank the teams that are neutral, and it'll put the teams that are bearish. And if you just give it a few seconds here, it's going to produce a chart where you can see the teams that are doing very well, right? So if you look at right now, here's the teams that are not doing well. These are the teams that are bearish. And what I like to do in this chart is I like to look at the teams like their grade, right? So is there any A or B that are in a bearish cycle right now? And right now the Giants are in a bearish cycle. They're 2-5 in the last 7 games. You can see Seattle's in a bearish cycle. They're also 2-5, and the Athletics are 2-5. Now the neutral teams that are win one, lose one type thing, these are the teams that I find if you pay attention to underdogs, you can find those neutral teams that are 3-4, 4-3 in a good cycle against a quality opponent, and you can get some good dog money that day. And I'm talking about teams like the Cubs, Kansas City, Arizona, and Cleveland and Philadelphia. If you can catch these teams maybe on the road or even as a home underdog, you can get some good value. And these type teams here, the A's and the B's, normally it's always the A's and B's in the bullish cycles. Sometimes you'll see a C-type team in this cycle, but teams that are very bullish right now, and the teams who are bullish, you got to be careful because it's like the stock market. What goes up must come down, and those A-type teams, you don't want to spend too much money on them because they're always going to be very heavy favorite. Like if I look at the DMVI, the Daily Market Value Index, today the New York Mets facing a faceless opponent, the average price would be minus 213. And also, if you look at another 8, Detroit, minus 222. So you see that there's a price tag that comes with being successful, right? So anyways, here you go. Let's get on with today's picks. Just give you a little bit of an intro to the Raymond Report and how to make that first domino fall when you're handicapping, right? When you're handicapping, where do you start from, right? And that's a good starting point, learning the Raymond Report, because you can learn the A, B's, and C's of those type teams. And let's go to pick number 1. I got 3 totals picked today. I did my homework today. I kind of like the side, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes on this team, but I decided to go with the total, and I'll tell you why in 1 minute. All right, first pick, let's go to the game between the Atlanta Braves and the Washington Nationals. You got a C-type team in Washington. They're on the road against another C-type team in Atlanta. And if Atlanta gets some more wins, they might make it to the B club. And Washington's coming off a win in their last game, right? And what's that? Normally in Major League Baseball, teams below 500 facing another team below 500, and that team's coming off a win. What's their record in the next game? It's not too good. 4-17, but look at the total. 7-13-1 to the under. And for home type teams, like the Braves at home against another team with a losing record, 15, 22, and 3 to the under. So I'm going to go under in game number 1, your pick number 1, between Washington and the Atlanta Braves. You got A.J. Smith-Sawyer going up against Trevor Williams. Williams on the season, 2-4, a little bit of high ERA, 5.88. And then A.J. Smith-Sawyer, 2-2, a 2.76 ERA. The total's 9. So, you know what? A little bit of a balance act here because of the Trevor Williams high inflated ERA. But we're not asking them to blow the doors off them. We're just trying to ask to keep it close. And if you look at Atlanta this season at home, 7-12-2 to the under. And A.J. Smith-Sawyer's last 3 games, the club, the final score normally only allows 1.3 runs per game. So in A.J. Smith-Sawyer's last 3 starts, the average runs against is 1.3. So give me the under in that first game. All right, let's go to pick number 2. And we're going to go back to 2 more bottom feeders right here. We're going to go to the Chicago White Sox against the Cincinnati Reds. Same scenario, right? You got a C-type team. The road team won last night, so Cincinnati won 4-2, I believe was the final. Chicago White Sox won 4-2. So the same scenario with the Washington-Atlanta game. So I'm not going to do the numbers again because I just showed them to you. 7-13-1 to the under. I'm going to go under in pick number 2 between the White Sox and Cincinnati Reds. Nick Martinez up against Bryce Wilson. Don't like, and here's the thing. The C-type team at home coming off a loss, they're 27-13 in the next game against a team with a losing record that won their last game, right? So I just don't like the price tag, minus 218 for Atlanta, minus 225 for Cincinnati. And in the Raymond Report, the one thing I can tell you, it's hard to trust C-type teams, like an old high school sweetheart. They're going to break your heart when you bet them, right? And, when you bet on bad teams and expect good things, it's not a good recipe to be successful. Now, Cincinnati's on a 3-game losing streak. The last 3 games have gone under. 8-13 to the under this year. Chicago White Sox on the road, 8-14-0 to the under. And in the last 10 meetings in Cincinnati, the Great American Ballpark, 2-7-1 to the under. So give me the under in the game between the White Sox and the Reds. And pick number 3. Now here's the, I was looking at Toronto here, and I'll show you why I'm not going to touch them. So you got a C-type team in Tampa Bay. They're on the road against a B-type team in the Blue Jays. And the C-type team's coming off a loss. Survey says Tampa Bay is 15-37 in this spot. Well, teams like Tampa Bay, not Tampa Bay per se, but teams like Tampa Bay who have a losing record against a team with a 50 to 59.9 win percentage. And they're coming off a loss last night. Blue Jays won, I think it was 3-1 was the final. 15-37, but 24-28-0 to the under. Not a great unders record, but looking at the Toronto Blue Jays, they're a B-type team at home against a C-type team, and they're coming off a win. And they do have a good record, 33-14 for the home team, 20-25-2. Now, the totals numbers don't blow you off the chart or off the face of the earth, right? I look at the totals number, it's like, yeah, you know what? It's there's not a big strong lean towards one side, but you're playing the percentages, right? In the league of parity, in all leagues, right? I'm looking for the edge, and when I look at the Toronto Blue Jays, and the reason why I'm not taking them with Kevin Gausman, even though the price tags is fair, they're a little bit over value today, because normally the Blue Jays in this spot would be a minus 134 on my value index, and they're 166. That's a little bit overvalued. But what I do respect is, if you watch the podcast, I love Kevin Cash. I think he's a great manager. He's like this version of Moneyball, right? The Athletics back in the day with Billy Bean, Moneyball. But 7-3 on the road in Toronto, and the Blue Jays 3-7 last 10 against the Rays. So if you go with that theory, that win one lose one type thing, and the Jays winning last night, it doesn't look good. And this, I think, is getaway day Tampa Bay's getaway day. They're at Miami next, and Toronto's going to host Detroit. Wow, that's going to be a great series at the old Sky Dome. But I do like the under in this game. I think Kevin Gausman, if he can give us some good innings here, and if you look at the Blue Jays' last few games, you can see they're averaging 7 runs per game. So could be a high-scoring affair, but I'm anticipating a pitching matchup, and it's a division game, right? And if you look at the Blue Jays, division game, they normally do well, 5-4. Don't have a lot of numbers supporting the under here, but I'm going with Tampa Bay. Road teams this year, coming off a 2-game road trip, 11-21-1 in their next game, and I'm going to go with the under in this one. I'm going to ride the percentage play here of 20-25, and sometimes, you know what? like I said earlier, sometimes the numbers don't stick out, and they're not convincing numbers. But you look at Kevin Gausman, 3-3 on the season, 3.97 ERA. Zach Lytle, 2-5, 4.40 ERA. Not really great numbers. 8.5's the total. If the total was 8 or 7.5, I wouldn't touch it. But because it's 8.5, I'm going to play the under in this one. It's not a strong play, but of all the games going here today, these are the ones I like the most. There was other games I like too. I like the Dodgers, but Matt Sawyer's going. They're 17-5. I got a system at 17-5 for the Dodgers in this spot, but a little chalky. All right, so there you have it. That is my 3 selections today, 3 totals. Give me the under in the Washington-Atlanta game, White Sox-Reds game, and the Rays-Blue Jay game. All unders today. Let's see what the market, the SBI, the Sports Betting Index, is telling us. Are we in an unders market right now? And neutral market, which is even better for me. All right, yeah, neutral market just means last 7 days that the unders are 52%, which is, it's okay. If you look at the season, 52% right there. So let's hope. And we're in an under streak right here. Yesterday, 7-8 to the under, 6-7 the day before, 4-6. Let's see if we can keep that streak going, and let's cash some unders today in Major League Baseball. All right, don't forget, check out our Twitter feed. If you like stats and trends are, as I always say, trends are your friends, but they don't pay the rent. We do have some nice stats and trends here. I post each and every day on our Twitter feed, our X feed. I still call it Twitter for some reason. I don't know. Just can't get it out of my head, that Twitter. But yeah, check it out. It's ATS Stats is our handle. And every day I post stats and trends, and people seem to enjoy them. So I'll keep posting them. Have a great rest of your Thursday. And I'll see you back here on another edition of the Raymond Report right here at atsstats.com. Cheers.